So let's talk about white belt survival again. All right. So the topic today is surviving the Americana. So the Americana, I wouldn't say it's basic, but it is one of the fundamental attacks. So it is usually one of the first ones that you learn. So that's why a lot of white belts, especially really strong people, would go for it. So the issue with the Americana is that even if it's not a high percentage submission, it does set up a lot of other stuff. So it is still a viable option. All right. So as a white belt, unfortunately, a lot of people, they don't know how to survive it. They would tap to it even though it's not fully locked in or it's a easy thing to get out of. All right. So let's talk about that. So I'm going to show you how I deal with it and in a way that doesn't expose you to other even worse positions. All right. So we're going to talk about mount, half guard, and side control. Okay. So let's start with the mount. All right. So mount is probably one of the more common ones. Right, so if you're a white belt, usually you fail to keep your elbows tight, and then they pin your arm, right? Boom, like that. Boom, and then they're gonna get to Americana position, and then they're gonna secure the position. Then they start cranking, and then you would tap. Or alternatively, another thing that happens is a C starts to crank, right? Then you start to try to fight it, and then you would bring the other arm over to try to do that, and then that gives him an arm bar. Like that, all right? So these are really common things that you see all the time. So what I like to do in this scenario is as soon as he pins it, right? I know that he's gonna kind of go for it, so I have to start already preparing for it. And then the most important thing is this. You have to be quick with it, right? The more you stay here, the shorter it's gonna be, right? So I have to do a Y. So this is like a Eric Paulson Y escape. So you're making like a Y here, and then you're putting this frame right under his armpit over here, okay? Use the armpit and make sure that your wrist is straight, because if I bend my wrist like this and then if he leans back into me, then there's a chance that I could crush my own wrist or my own thumb. So you want to keep the wrist nice and strong like this, all right? So right here, and then from here, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to push, but if I only push with my arm, I don't care how strong you are, I'm not moving this, 200-pound mountain of a man off of me, right? So I have to push and bridge at the same time, right? So if I push and use my hip bridge at the same time, then it becomes a really powerful force multiplier. So it looks like this, boom, right? And then I'm gonna be able to create enough space for me to start shrimping out and getting into better positions, right? If he lets me, I can probably maybe get into a leg lock position, or if he's coming back into me, then at least I have my frame and we can get into a more neutral position, all right? So one thing that a lot of people is gonna say is,
but I can just armbar
is that if I push him this way and I'm straightening my arm, somehow he's gonna magically catch his arm into an arm bar.
Well, they're kind of not wrong. Like in paper, when the hand is out there, it should be able to get an arm bar. I'm going to do it in slow motion. I'm going to try technically as I can to see if I can catch it in slow motion.
Right? So because in theory, as long as the arm is
but I know what they're saying. Like, oh, that's just a fat guy over there. He doesn't even know how to move his body.
Well, let's see. Let's test it, right? So we're here. Okay, so I'm gonna do it, and I'm gonna actually hold the position, right? 1, 2, 3.
So from here, I have to get up.
And do that. Like that. Right?
All right, let me drill that. So I'm going to spend a lot of time just to catch you in that moment.
Yeah, so could it happen? Yes. Is it likely to happen? Probably not, right? So let's go in real speed. So actually,
let me think about it.
So actually try to catch the armbar, right?
Can I get one more drill?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, I want to get it.
All right, ready? All right, go.
Wait, I need to drill one more time. Push, Senpai. No. Can I say something? People are going to say I suck, but yeah, what happens is another person told me, and I actually kind of do this too, when you can either like grapevine or skydive when you get into Americana, which is pretty good, right? If you do that option, push, his bottom leg's actually stepping on it. I have to free my leg and then jump into the position. Or if I'm just being regular mount, go. Yeah,
so basically if he's making connections to my lower body, it's gonna take extra seconds to free the leg to jump into the armbar. And if he's not connecting to my legs, then I can actually push him further away to create even more distance and even more space.
It's now that I've actually attempted to do that. Someone who's trying to say they can land the armbar are the exact same people that would say, "Oh, when I do kung fu and I punch, punch me. I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna go from here, and I'm gonna do that." And I'm like, if you can't do that, I want to read your book or watch your video.
So anyway, we said this before, right? If there's an actual video of this sequence happening, somebody doing the Y escape and getting armbar, send it our way. We would love to see it, and we would love to learn from that person, actually.
Yeah.
I would.
For me, I'm technically not able to do that. If some people can, it'd be wicked. Yeah. But what I found is it's posting. When he does it, we don't post for a long period of time. If I want to fall over, post and get my hand back out, right? Especially me talking about getting hand on the mat and everyone else doing that too. Yeah. Right? So same thing over here. When he puts his hand out, it's only for a split second, then he shrimps and get his knee in.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, if I do this, and I leave it there, yeah, sure. Then you deserve to be armbarred. But then you would get fucked up no matter what. I mean, in any position, if that's your habit.
Can we do it again? I'm going to really try to get the Kimura. And then really be aware of that armbar.
The Americana.
Americana.
It's not a Kimura. Oh my god, this is Americana. Oh, you made a mistake. Oh god.
So let's do it again. And actually, I'm aware of that now, and I'm gonna try to get my.
So stronger finish on the Americana, right?
Yeah.
All right. Good. All right. Well, you gotta give me a fair warning now.
Ready?
Yeah.
Go. Yeah. So what's happening with me is, I have the grip when he's pushing me. By the time I have to undo my grip. I have to readjust my leg and my other body position. By the time I'm doing that, his arms are already inside.
All right, cool. So now we have established that this sequence actually works. The cool thing is, once you master it, it works from half guard and it works from side control as well. Another really common scenario is people saying, I wouldn't try to go for the finish from mount, I would do it from side control. So let's see if that same escape actually works from side control, all right?
Oh, really? How do I finish it? Anyway, or?
Well, I mean, how would you normally finish it in side control?
Oh, actually, I was thinking of the Kimura. We're doing it now.
All right, so finish it. There you go, right? Good. And now same thing, right? I'm getting right here. Ready, set, go.
But I did resist. I did.
He did try. He did try. Right? So as you can see in the side control is better for the attacker because it creates more of a scramble situation, which the defender could still end up in a bad position. But at very least, I'm getting out from the Americana. And in half guard,
I would just avoid the control.
I know. In half guard, it would actually be the easiest to escape, right? If I'm in half guard, like this.
Well, what am I doing trying to get an Americana now?
I know. Some people do it.
Oh, okay.
Some people do it, right? So in half guard, because I actually have this leg control, so that means when I do the push, I can also do a hip rotation at the same time. So, and because I already have this leg control, now it's very likely that I'm going to end up on top now.
Yeah, but stay there. You see how your hand was extended? What if my legs can somehow magically penetrate your leg and I'll end up here, and then I can just go back on
There you go. There you go. So, master the Y escape. It's going to serve you well. Us.